Anita. Here's just a compilation of why we love you and why we hope that this is the best birthday for you, because you're one in a million and we know that you're far away, but we wish you were here with us. And this is the only way that we can show you how much that we love you. Enjoy.
Something that makes my Nini special is the way she always has something prepared whenever we always come over to her house. She either has cheese dip, fried steak, has some nice white beans going on. It's always the way, and her hugs. Hugs are the best. Never stop doing them. Her ability to never stop giving up. She's been through some crap, and I just think about myself and I'm like, I haven't been through half the crap she's been through, and she's still kicking around, so there's always that.
Definitely the fact that she doesn't care what other people think, and she's like free to do her own thing. And that reminds me of one of the times whenever me and Chloe were younger, and we were like 11 or 12, and we were like, starting to become women, and I don't even know if my mom knew, she gave us like kind of lingerie, but not really lingerie, like a kind of more like subtle version of lingerie, like a really subtle version of lingerie, and I haven't had anything like that before. And then she just smiled and she gave it to us, and then she just stared at us, and we didn't know what to do with it because we haven't had something like that before. So it could fit me now, so I can wear it now. But back then, no, it was way too big. I don't know, apparently my grandma thought I had assets, but not then. The fact that she really doesn't care what people think, like I take that to a whole nother level because I try to not care what people think, and it becomes like an ugly weird version. But when she doesn't care what people think, it's like becomes a personality trait for her. And I want to be like that when I get older, because like I won't have to care what I look like, and then I can look like super tired and stuff. Like I already dress like that. That's like my inspiration is how she dresses. Like I want moo-moos and everything, just walking around to church. Barefoot.
I love you first of all. Most importantly. I love your cake. I'm expecting a meatloaf right now. No hands. I love the way she plays. It's really fun because like I like it because I can be tickled, and I like to laugh, and she tickles me, and like she gets a little bit under there, just enough to where it makes me laugh, and it's hilarious when it happens, and it nobody. Okay, I just want to clear the air. Nobody has ever loved Elvis more than this woman. Honestly, I'll walk into a room, all I see is Elvis pictures everywhere, like on a little portfolio. I like her smile, brings me happiness. That's what I love most, because I'm expecting a big hug when I come over to the house, and that is what I love most about my grandma and me.
Hey, is that one of my favorite grandmas in the world? I sure think it is. Happy birthday, Nini. I love you so much. And one of my favorite memories of you is when we were back in Tampa. It was one of the older houses. It was actually our first house in Tampa, actually. It was April Fool's, and you said you were making brownies. Now, you know your girl here loves sweets. Have a sweet tooth. Did since I was a little kid. You know that. And you loved baking treats for me and my siblings, of course. But this particular day, it was April Fool's. And Nini, you have a great sense of humor, but this one was just a little bit too cold. So, you had said you were going to make brownies, but you took that literally. You actually took brown construction paper and cut E's out of them. And there's a plate with a paper towel over them. I was super excited to try those brownies. And then you just I lifted it up and they're brownies, and you're like, enjoy your food, and I'm like, Nene, brownies? But, of course, you are loving and you have a big heart and you won't just do that to me, and you actually ended up making real brownies. That was a roller coaster of emotions, but I really do think that memory it's one of my favorite memories of you. I love your sense of humor, and that's just something that's always been funny to me. You have a big heart and you care for Mr. Ernie, and I think that's something to look up to. That's really kind of what motivated me to go into nursing more, is because you just have such a big heart, and it's very motivating.
I would say one reason that I adore Anita is because she is one of my biggest fans. She always supports me. It doesn't matter. Now don't get me wrong, she's not afraid to tell me that she doesn't think I'm doing something right, but she's always encouraging me and always trying to tell me how thankful that she is that I'm her daughter-in-law, and that I'm married to her son, who's an only child. So I'm so proud that she's proud of me, and that I could make her happy, and that I could be a good mom to her grandchildren, because I'd like to think that when my son grew, that I would be as supportive as Anita is of me.
Hey Mom, I want to wish you a happy birthday. You're getting older and that's okay. It's going to be alright. You're not going to fall apart. But we do like to pick at you about it. I wanted to share something with you that's just kind of a favorite memory or a favorite thought, something that you've done for me all my life that I can never thank you enough for. And yes, it does serve me well, contrary to popular belief. But if you look at these guys, these were all three ones that somewhere around the line you had gotten me. And yet started off being younger. But there was a memory with this particular one. You see, he wasn't a regular He-Man like the rest of them. He came out with She-Ra. And I really liked this guy a lot on the cartoons. And I remember that even though he was not in any way different from other guys, he was just one of the ladies' men on the show, but I liked him. And I remember I wanted this character really bad when he came out, and I remember there was some disruption in the house, just to leave it at that, that maybe I shouldn't have something that came out with the girl stuff or whatever. But I remember you fought for me to be able to have Bo because I liked him and thought that he was a really cool character, and you knew enough to know that nothing was weird or wrong with me, but I just liked the character. And you stood up for me to have that. And years later, I would dress a little bit more unique than others. Hence the shirt. And I still do. Dress a little bit different than the norm. You allowed that, and even when it caused some problems in the house, you still allowed me to wear my colors, because that's what I liked. And you had enough sense to know that I wasn't going down a wrong path, or that something wasn't wrong, or I wasn't, nothing like that. That was just who I was. It was what I liked. You always taught me to be myself. And there were years where I struggled trying to change who I was. And even during that time, you didn't give up on me. But you always reminded me to be myself. And even when I kicked against it, you wanted that for me. And I just want to tell you how much that means to me. That you've always allowed that, you never looked down on it. And even when you had to fight for it, you did. But I think it paid off. Because one of the things I hear to this day is stuff to do with my preaching or ministry or whatever else, is that this is different or that's unique, or you go about it this way or that way. And a lot of that, I believe God placed you in my life to bring that about. So I just want to tell you happy birthday. I'm sharing a gift that you shared with me. But what I can say is thank God for you, Mama. We love you. Happy birthday.